Good morning, guys. Today is February 15, 2017, and welcome back to another live trade. Just to let you guys know, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, make sure you guys subscribe if you guys do like my content. Also, if you guys have any suggestions of how I can make my channel better or what you guys would like to see, please leave it in the comments. And as I said yesterday, this channel is still new, we're still growing, so there's a lot for me to improve on, and any feedback is more than welcome. So let's get it right into it. We got about 7 minutes till the market open. Today my main two trades are only FNCX and EVOK. EVOK. Those are the only two I'm mainly watching right at the market open, and then we'll see what other opportunities develop as the day goes along. So the first one, FNCX, is my main watch right off the gates. It has a float of 1.25 million, which is very low. It reported a second quarter financial result, so obviously the results are good, because pre-market it had moves about I guess like around here, let's say from 350s now all the way into 5s. So it had moved a lot pre-market, but again it is a low float, and the markets are not even open yet. So I think it does have potential, but again we don't want to jump into anything right away here. We do want it to prove itself as the market open, because yesterday, if you guys remember Sino, I jumped in right at the market open and I ended up with a huge loss just because it had a hard rejection near a what was it, $half mark, yeah, near a 550, I believe it was, $half mark. It had a hard rejection, and then I ended up losing about $130 on it. So again, with today, we want to make sure that we're not just jumping in. Now it is around its 200 moving average, which is 471. Now that could act as support on if it opens above it. On the way down it could act as support, and then it rips through. So we'll be just kind of watching it for a dip buying opportunity if we can. I do not want to buy it high up here. If it opens and it just starts running past this 510 level, I will just wait for a pullback and then look for a good opportunity, maybe a 5-minute setup even on this, right? We want to make sure we wait for a good opportunity on this. It does have a strong pre-market, but if it doesn't dip, then a potential setup would be, like I said, a pullback, or a 5-minute pullback preferably, or a 1-minute pullback. Now the second thing we're looking at is EVOK, EVOK. Now EVOK just had a major run pre-market as well. It has a float of 8.81 million, and today it had a press release out about FDA exempting EVOK from HF validation. Now I'm not a doctor or a scientist, so I don't know whatever that is, but obviously the news is good because it gained momentum. And now, as you guys can see, basically this morning went all the way up from 280 all the way up to 465, so a huge move, and now it has pulled back and it's doing this U shape, so which I like. What I am looking for this, maybe this, let me go into the 5-minute here. Maybe we'll see if we can get some sort of a 5-minute setup on this. Perhaps when the market open, a first 5 minutes to make a new high could be a potential entry point, and then look for a break towards 450 all the way up to 465. So those are my gap plays. I would like to see it kind of consolidate below 450, and then a break of that would be nice to see. And then if it takes up 465, if you guys can see on the daily, it does have a huge gap to cover. So that's obviously that. I doubt it's going to reach $11, but it does have potential to maybe reach 5, 6, even 8. Although on the RSI it is pretty high, so I'm going to be careful on my size. Maybe maximum 200 shares on both of the plays, nothing more than that, just because we want to make sure that they can move a lot. So 50 cents, 60 cents on 200 would be amazing. So we want to make sure we keep our risk low on these. So I'll see you guys in about 5 minutes as soon as the market open, and then we'll get started. Alright guys, so the markets are open. We'll just be watching here, see what happens. Looks like EVOK is running a little, but again we don't want to jump into anything right away here. First 5 minutes to make a new high here. Oh. If it breaks 4, there you go, it just broke 4. So good thing we didn't jump into anything right away here. You know, potentially we could look to see a red to green move on it. You know, if it so the high of this was 435, so we could look for a okay, just got in. Now again, I'm gonna put my stop. This is 418. I do want to have my stop just below 420. So I got in at 435, stop is at 420. We don't want to obviously see it go below that. There's some volume coming in now, so we want to see it get a push above 440 here. There is a lot of volume coming in, guys, but it's not moving right away here. So if it doesn't move, there you go, I got stopped out, which is good because as you guys saw, there's a lot of volume coming in, but the stock wasn't moving. So that just means that it might get stuffed here, you know. So we'll see. I mean, we can always get back in, you know, with a better risk reward. I just had my stop at 420 just because I wasn't trying to yeah, it might look like it might roll over here. I want to bring up FNCX just to see what's happening there. Oh, now it's coming up, just broke 440. We'll look for this to jump in for the break of 450 perhaps. You know, a $0.5 mark could be strong. But it, as you guys can see, is just with all this volume coming in, you know, 500 shares, 680,000, it should be just spiking, right? And if that's not happening, if that's not the case, then it's just better if you just have our stop. And you know, this could definitely roll over. I mean, if it breaks this 390, we could definitely see it roll over, you know, because there's a lot of gap to cover here. Now ZSAN is coming up, bid price 211. I want to see if it can take off 215. Oh, it just did. I want to see if it can get over 215. Oh, I tried buying at 215, didn't get a fill. We'll wait and see. Now this could definitely have that. This definitely has a potential. I was watching it over the break of a new high there, 215, but I just kind of came in a bit late, so I missed it. Should have put my order at 216 actually, but I put it at 215 and it just didn't get executed. So we'll take it off for now. This was another one I was watching just because I figured that if it you know, if it takes out this 215 from previous day, it could have potential to run. FNCX is dropping, so no play there. EVOK is dropping as well, so glad we got stopped out there. And you know, nothing else is moving right now, so we'll watch ZSAN. We'll see what happens here. Okay guys, I just got in at ZSAN at 220. the first candle to make a new high. I'm just gonna put my stop just below 214. So just below that candle there. Now the reason I got in 220 just because it was the first candle to make a new high, and if we can hold this 216 level, you know, with the big position right there, it doesn't look like it'll hold, but if we can hold that, oh, it might get taken out here. So I got in just because I figure if, you know, it made a new high on the 1 minute after a nice pullback. So the goal was to see if we can get back to the high of day at 224, and then look for a potential. Now my execution is 219.99. If we can get back over 220 here, we could see a potential run up to. We could see a potential run up to 224, and then a break of that, we might be able to see. We might be able to get to 250. So that would be ideal on it. We would love to see this candle make a new high here. If this candle can make a new high, you know, 219, we could see a potential run up here. So let's see what happens. I would love to see 215 hold, and then a potential run back up to 220, and then break of 220, a potential run up to 224. A break of that, we could see a new high on this. So we'll see what happens here. Now obviously I got in for the first candle to make a new high. I have my stop at 214. So I'm willing to give it some time here because I feel like it does have potential. There you go, 218. Let's see if we can get 219 on this candle. That would be ideal to see. See 219 on this candle, and then because that would be the second 1 minute candle to make a new high with a nice support at 215. So that might bring in some more you know, attention from traders. There you go. Let's see if we can get 219 here, guys. That's what we want to see. We want to see 219. We want to see some buying pressure come in. Now it is, you know, dropping. It is consolidating on a bit low volume, so it does have potential. But 218 seems to have some support now, or not support, sorry, some resistance. 217 has some resistance, but I think it can really run through it if we can gain some volume on this. With all the other stocks dropping, like EVOK and everything else, I feel like this could get some momentum. So let's see if we can. Let's see what happens here. I mean, ideal, you know, maybe the next 5 minute candle to make a new high. So this was 940. So maybe potentially a next 5 minute to make a new high could bring in some positive momentum into this stock. You know, if we can get 218 on the next 5 minutes, or maybe 219 on the next 5 minute candle, we could see a potential run on this. It's consolidating a bit nicely here with on low volume. So we'll love to see. There you go, big 217. Somebody just bought 10,000 in 217. So we'll see what happens here. There you go, guys. We did make a new high, so now we are running. Now my entry is from 220, so obviously my goal is to see a break of 224, so a test of high of day. Would love to see this candle make a new high at 223, because if this new candle makes a new high, a 5 minute new high at 223, we would see more buyers coming in here. So it should be able to here. Oh, it just got pushed back down to 220. I would love to see this candle go to 223, because that would definitely bring in some positive momentum into the stock, and that's what we want to see. So keep tabs on this. Alright guys, so we got this next 5 minute candle here. It is building this trend line, which I like. I feel like anything over if this candle makes a new high at 223, if this candle can get to 223, we would love, it could be a nice spike here. So I am being patient with this, just because, as you guys can see, it is building this this trend line here on the 5 minute, and I feel like, you know, traders might start noticing it as well, and then if somebody starts jumping in, we could potentially get a rip up to this is looking weak here. I don't like this. I might get stopped out here, to be honest. I didn't it broke that trend line. I'm just not gonna move my stop, just because it did hold 215 before, so we'll see if this can hold 215. 215 seems to have some hidden buyer, so that might be a good point for a lot of traders to buy. But again, we wanted to see that candle make a new high, and it just couldn't, because that would have been a strong 5 minute setup as it was building the trend line to make a new high. Again, 215 has the seller, but it just this little rollover I don't like. But if 215 holds, we might be able to see it come back up, and then run back up towards 222, 224. So I mean, it's definitely, you know, it can definitely run once it starts picking up. So that's what we like to see, so keep an eye on it. Alright guys, so I ended up getting stopped out on that candle, broke the trend, and just couldn't do it. I think it was a great setup, did have potential, just didn't pan out the way I thought it will. So yeah, we're just keeping our eyes on 0 for 2 today, so we'll see if something else pops up. Everything else, you know, that had potential has just faded. FNCX, same thing with EVOK. You know, EVOK, I tried getting in here on this candle, and then I ended up getting stop out. Good thing I had my stop in though, guys, because, you know, it could have been worse. It could have been like Sino, so I'm very glad I had my stop in. But other than that, nothing else really did much today, so we'll just kind of watch it. ZSAN did have potential. I really like that 1 minute setup, or the chart setup on this, you know, from break of 215, go up to you know, potential run up to 250s, but it just didn't have enough strength in it today. So alright guys, I'm watching QBAK, QBAK. The only thing with this right now I don't like is a bit of spread. If I do, I'm watching for a 5 minute setup, so if I get in for a break of 506, just tried getting in here at 507, so let's see if I get filled. No, it's running. Oh, I just got filled. I'm just gonna put my stop at 498 or 497, just because I feel like if it gets below that, it wouldn't be a good 5 minute setup. So now it is below its VWAP, but I feel like it does have potential. You know, 510 again, so let's see if he can break over the 511, get over the VWAP. You know, it consolidated on a bit of low volume here after this run up, so the target obviously is the high of day, so 565, but let's see if he can even get back up there. It would be ideal to see this run up that much, and I think it does have potential because it does have a PR out as well, press release saying that a division of Qualstar was awarded 1 million customer order to ship over the next 12 months. So they did get a new order, so I feel like it does have a potential to run here. It just only thing is we need to see it get over VWAP here, and we need a big volume come in, big buying volume like this right here. We need to see this kind of volume come back into the play here. I mean, it is, as you guys can see, it is, you know, starting to trend up. Just on the 5 minute, it made a new high. Now what I do like to see on the 5 minute when it makes a new high is a quick run up, but we didn't get that right away here, so we'll see if so I have a 10-cent, stop loss there with a potential of making 50 to 60 cents. So I think the risk reward is pretty good. Now we just have to see if this will have a oh, I just got stopped out. That's okay. Whoa, did I get stopped out at 489? Oh, hell, shit, man. That's I got slippage. I'm keep getting slippage on these stops, which I don't like. So yeah, QBAK 35. Again, I only wanted to, but that's okay. Now it's even dropping more. So obviously my stop was 497, but I got out at 489. So that's a 10-cent slippage, which I don't like. But it's okay. I've had 3 trades for today, so I'm done trading for today. We'll review these. I feel like there's today markets I should have just kind of stayed away, unless I got in these plays early, because none of them had any follow through. So if a stock's, oh, look at ZSAN, ZSAN, look at this, just made a new high. So I got in at 220, didn't do it, pulled back to 210, and then just ripped again to 227. So there's nothing you can do about that. That's the hardest part about trading, is when you have an idea and you know that, hey, you know what, the stock that I'm getting into, I know it has potential and it can run, and it just doesn't do it. You ended up stopping out, and then it just runs without you after. So with plays like that, you can't do anything. Obviously, that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see a break of that, and then run. But even the break, I mean, it only broke 24 and then went up to 27, and then now it just seems to having more selling pressure coming in. So I'm done for the day. Thank you for watching, guys. Tomorrow my goal is to be a bit more patient. I think today the plays I did take, I was patient, but I think I could work on it a bit more and improve myself to a point where I don't have to take like EVOK, for example. When I saw this candle act, choppiness, like it went all the way down, came all the way back up, went all the way down, and closed somewhere in the middle, and then this candle, so maybe getting in here on the break of this candle, not something I need to do, right? Maybe something I can avoid doing, right? Look for a break of 450, right? I could have waited to see if it'll even get up to 450, and the break of that, we can test the pre-market high, and that would bring in some real momentum. So things like that I need to get better at, of course. I need to be able to pinpoint these and be able to so it just went green on the day, be able to recognize those things. And I think that's my that's one thing that I need to work on, obviously, is be able to see, as you guys can see, it's running now. So we might have a squeeze coming in if people who shorted this might be covering here and taking their profits or whatnot. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. We'll review this, we'll learn from this, and then we'll come back a bit stronger tomorrow. So have a great day.